as I was saying, this is the new route master. Welcome. I know that some of you have already been on the bus before, and most of you haven't. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing you notice that there's 3 doors.
Yeah.
Are you all aware of that beforehand? Pardon?
Yeah, one there, one to drive.
Why 3? Well, it's to replicate what the old route master used to be. Let's call them that, where you could jump on and off. It was easy access from the back platform. Hence that one. At times of the day when that is not in operation, with a customer assistant at the back, and they operate normally, when we have the middle doors that one can get on and off as normal, as are the back. But normally during the course of the day, there may be somebody at the back on some routes that will assist you, offer you advice, give you travel advice. We have many overseas travellers that are not familiar with London and where they've got to go, and they will ask many questions, and there is a person there, customer assistant, passenger assistant, to offer that customer experience.
Because now there's an option for an emergency fare. So if they're on the last credit and obviously they tap in, it will print a receipt. Because this and the back one doesn't have that facility, they would then it will give them a double beep as opposed to a single beep, which is telling them that there's obviously it's not allowing it. They will then have to go to the front, but when they tap it, the emergency fare will be released, and then they can come forward.
Okay, so if you don't quite have enough for one full fare, you can still get on.
You can still
but
get
you
on,
have to do it
but you have to do it at the front.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it like sitting up above?
Oh, it's a bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the design, isn't it,
Yeah.
for all the buses? Because that's a bit different, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Quite comfortable.
And Gina as well. Would you choose to sit up there if you had the chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see a bit more, I suppose.
Yeah.
can't you,
Yeah.
up there?
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, you've got three of you together.
Yeah.
In that, if there were 4, you might be able to sit together. It's usually very crowded.
Yeah.
But again, that's quite a nice thing because you can be, with your friends.
Can I ask you all a question? Do many of you travel on buses?
Every day. Yeah, every day. Yeah.
So Gina, how do you feel about travelling on the buses?
Traveling on the buses are like it's very, like for people with learning difficulties, it's very hard, and they tend to, because some bus drivers are very not smiley or not saying hello, makes you feel uncomfortable. I did get on the bus one time, and the driver was quite nice to me, and he was like, "Oh, thank you for swiping your card," and that kind of thing. But you don't get many of drivers that do that though.
I've been treated badly on the buses. If you go on a bus, I ask for, if you get disability, you never get seats.
I have actually experienced where you've already explained that unfortunately no one moves. And there is actually one incident where I actually did open the cab door and actually said, "Could you let that lady sit down, please?" And it literally, as soon as I said that, they said, "Oh, sorry." It's because they weren't aware. They were on their phone, and 9 times out of 10, everybody's on their phone these days, or their iPad.
What you're saying, a lot of people have had that experience where the bus doesn't stop for someone who's waiting, who's in a wheelchair, and there may be different reasons for that. But the fact is, the person's left waiting, and they don't quite understand. What's the sort of policy? What's the plan?
There is a process that one is clearly defined in this big red book that each driver has.
Yes.
That every driver should follow when they are approaching a bus stop where they can clearly see a wheelchair user wishes to access or board the bus. Of course, that's to pull up to the bus stop, get close to the curb as possible, acknowledge the person, the wheelchair user, and allow the people, the passengers that are on board the bus that want to get off at that stop, off.
Yeah.
So they don't open their front doors for anyone else to get on.
Yeah.
That's the process that they must all follow. Everybody that wants to get off gets off. They make an announcement for any buggy users or any passengers that are in this area to clear the area for a wheelchair user. Now, let's assume for a moment that they clear it. Okay, we'll cover the instances where that doesn't actually happen as easily as I'm about to explain it. But let's say they have. They then deploy the ramp. They open the doors, the wheelchair user gets on. There's a specific way that the wheelchair user has to position themselves. Yeah, in other words, facing that way, so the back of their wheelchair is on this rest. It's for their own safety. their parking brake, handbrake, I don't know what it's actually called, but the braking system is on. The ramp goes back in, the door closes, and then we open the front doors for everybody else to get on. And the reason it's done that way is just to give the wheelchair user priority to get on, show them that we're taking their desire to get on the bus as importantly as anything else, and we get them on first.
Sometimes I'm on buses and I do see ramps go out and bounce back in and go out and bounce back in, and I assume the ramp's broken. So it's, but you're saying that that's probably not the case.
There are times where a ramp will come out as you've described and bounce straight back in again. It does have a sensitive edge. If it comes into connection with anything, a high curb, somebody's leg who's not aware that the ramp is coming out, it will bounce straight back in so that it doesn't cause anyone any harm, or indeed damage the ramp itself if it whacks into a high curb. So in those instances it will be a case of just moving the bus further forward and retrying the ramp, and most of the times that works. It's very rare to see iBus not working. What I will say, from a driver's perspective, and you probably wouldn't consider this, is they may not be aware, with a lot of noise going on inside a bus and doing what they do to drive a bus as safely as they can, they may not actually be aware that this visually isn't showing our passengers anything. Until, quite rightly Brian, when you go to them and tell them, it may very well be the very first time that they are aware.
And sometimes you can't get a good signal in some areas because there's high buildings or there's something around that's preventing the signal. On occasion, especially if it's a very bad day, sometimes you might lose the GPS signal, and although normally it works perfectly well on a route and it will say we're coming to Brixton station and this bus is going to Clapham or wherever it might be going, on occasion you can lose the signal, and as Nick said, that's when you'll get your asterisk and it will lose that information, but come back very, very soon after. And my question, I think, to you, Gina and Brian, is where you find that the iBus system isn't working properly and you go and see the driver, what would you like the driver to do to help you? How could the driver help you in that situation?
I've done this myself recently. If the iPad doesn't work, I will go down and ask the driver, can you help me that your iPad up there is not working? Can you tell where you're terminating? Can you let me know where my drop-off centre is?
Would anyone like to ask Roy, because he's driving buses a lot, about driving the bus, or anything you want to know about the bus, because we're on the bus?
When buses change, like this bus and Avenue buses come in, how do you cope with changing
different vehicles?
The signal and how the bus drives.
Yeah. Before a new bus come in, we have an instructor come to the garage, and it take you probably an hour or so, all driver and that new bus, show you the control, and you probably drive for 20 minutes, half an hour, till you get used to the bus.
Would you, Roy, when there's a change of plan, a diversion or a turn, would you announce that as well yourself?
Yes, we do.
You'd speak over the tannoy?
Yes, we do.
I've been on the bus when they said, this bus is terminating at this stop, and now you need to get to
because I think that's been that for a lot of people learning disabilities, that's quite scary when there's a change of plan, and they may not hear and understand what's being said on the tannoy. Okay. The other customers may hear a bit of what's being said and repeat it wrongly.
Yeah.
Chinese whispers.
It's come over. We announced it on the tannoy. Also, it come up on the screen as well. Yeah. So if you can read, it does help as well.
So Ginny, you spoke about helpful bus drivers and how that makes a big difference to your day. What do you find the differences between male and female drivers?
What do I find the difference? I find the difference between male and female drivers. Female drivers are a bit more friendlier than male drivers.
So what could the male drivers do to help you feel more comfortable?
If the male drivers are a bit more friendly.
In terms of friendliness, do you and the other people on the bus, do you say good morning to the driver?
Yeah.
Lovely. No, that's nice to hear. So despite everything else that might have happened, they might have a passenger that's really angry with them and been disrespectful. If you then get on and show that respect, the driver will then realise, yeah, this is a nice person, and then I'll park my issues. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice in return, and that's how we build that human relationship, definitely.
Bus drivers have it a bit tough sometimes, don't they? I've seen bus drivers get a lot of aggro for no reason whatsoever. They're just doing their job nicely, and I've seen people threaten them, and be very, very abusive. So I think we might have all seen that.
Sometimes, and the customers are very rude to the driver, and I'm like, oh, why not today or one day you want to be rude? And I'm like.